Hey heroes, Kolz here.
What?
I'm live. Hey heroes, Kolz here. Today I'm going to go through the Ghostbusters new event. Sorry for the janky setup. I'm doing the best from a hotel room that I can do. So the sound is going to be not my favorite. And you got this beautiful background of a wall behind me. So sorry for that. If anything is unclear, please let me know. But it should be all right. And you go from here. Let's see here. So I'm going to start out by going over the kind of like the general layout of the Ghostbusters event, and then I'm going to do some live play of all of the new heroes and weapons and pets from the Ghostbusters event that there is. Unfortunately, let's see here. Not unfortunately. I'm just going to have to switch between accounts. So I'm going to start off on my basic account, and then I'll go over to the God account to show you like all of the hidden powers of the Ghostbusters. At the end of this stream, Lena will give away 2 Ghostbuster passes, but I will basically randomly select anyone that left a comment. So if you leave a comment during the stream, I will grab all the names from the stream and select 2 at random from those, and then those will be awarded a Ghostbuster pass. I will show you guys my random number generator again to make sure that I don't sort by name instead of random number, which I've done under pressure in the past before, so I'll try not to do that. Let me try and real quick just fix this layout because it's annoying me. For some reason my base settings got all messed up here, so let's just try that. Alright, it's a little better, right? One more attempt here, and then I'll stop fiddling with my base setup. Let's see here, so 680, try that. 780. Alright. Still not happy with this filter. Sorry guys. I'm on doing this away from home is never as smooth as I hope it'd be. Alright, that'll do. Now you can see the whole screen. Alright, cool. So, first off, Hacks just put together an absolutely fantastic written guide in Discord. His theories of Ghostbusting are the same theories as my Ghostbusting. So, if you want a written version of this, he has it already on Discord. So I'm going to go over a lot of that. We are in the same guild. We share the same theories. So there's a written version there if you need it that I wholeheartedly endorse and agree with. I'm going to try and go through everything that I can remember from that guide, basically. So we're on the same page there. I'm going to start off really quick breaking down free-to-play versus pay-to-play. Give you a sense of like how much stuff is going to cost and what I think is like the best strategy. So at this point in the game, I'm basically free to play, and so that's how I approach these events. And then pay to play, there are definitely efficient ways to spend money. So we'll go through both real quick. So looking at the Ghostbuster Pass, if you're free to play like me, you're just going to do all of the quests that show up in the game, and you'll collect the pass on the left-hand side. If you want to spend $20 on the Ghostbuster Pass in order to unlock, this is Egon, right? I love this guy. Look at this man go. I love Egon as my favorite character from Ghostbusters. So the $20 you spend there, it's actually good to spend it early in the event. As you go through levels, actually, does it really matter? Well, I would consider getting this early in the event just so that you unlock Egon at the beginning and play with him. Yeah, I guess the timing doesn't really matter all that much, but the $20 for Egon is great. Is like great spend. $20 for a hero in Heroes vs. Hordes is generally like a very good deal, and this is for some very fun IP. The one thing to note with alternative universe heroes is that you're limited in the scope and how to upgrade them, both in star level and in forges. And this is the most important thing to get through in the event, is that unless you're willing to pay money later for alternative universe tokens, you're only going to be able to upgrade these heroes during the event, and you're not going to be able to use super tokens on their forge. So let me reiterate that for emphasis. For any of the alternative universe heroes and weapons, and you're not going to be able to use super tokens after the event is over to upgrade them. That's really important, and you're not going to be able to get hero shards basically unless you pay for them elsewhere. So what that means is you have to work on leveling up the heroes during the event. If you get Egon, be prepared to spend the rest of your currency in the event to level him up. That's basically the day one warning, is you're going to put all of the resources you get from the event into him. And that is because from the marketplace here, you're going to be limited in the amount of, I guess it's ectoplasm, which is fun, that you can get to spend. And you're going to want to try and get him up to 3-star forge and a 3-star levels. And so, but you're going to be limited to the ectoplasm during the event. So while getting Egon and any hero and Heroes with Swords for $20 is what I could deem like a good deal, the fact that you're limited to the resources during the event is the one downside there. So he's not like a true hero because you don't get the ability to long-term upgrade him with like some caveats. There's going to be alternative universes in the future that might have additional resources for him, but you can't use like regular super tokens, and his shards won't appear in the portal. So that's the big caveat with the IP here. Okay, and that's Egon, the Egon Pass. If you want to spend money, the other option is to focus on the wheel and completing the quests. So, this is really, sorry, my settings here are really bugging me. So the other pay-to-play option that I think is really efficient, and this one is one that Hacks goes over again in detail in the written guide, is to work on getting up to 100 spins. So if you get 100 spins from the Ghostbuster spin wheel, you should net out enough exchange tokens to get the Ecto 1. Each spin in the wheel is worth about 67. Man. It's worth 67 ectoplasms. And so if you do the math, 67 times 100 plus the additional ectoplasm you get from all of the pity rewards will net you enough to get the Ecto 1. Man, why is this getting all buggy again? Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. My video capture card is bugging out on me. Filters. Yeah, I'm just going to make do with that black bar annoying me the entire stream, but do my best. Thanks, Paradox, for the super. Appreciate it, man. Okay, so free to play. Pay to play. Getting 100 spins on the Ghostbuster spins will net you, on average, enough currency to get to the pity system and get the Ecto 1. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Alright. Hopefully this fixes it. Sorry. And I'll start my whole theory over again. Okay, so we went over the pass for Egon and why I think that's a pretty good deal. The other option is to buy the gem pass from the web store and then use the gems in order to complete the spins and the Ghostbuster spin. Getting to the 100 pity system here will net you out enough to get the Ecto 1. So if you want to get the Ecto 1, that's like a pretty good way to do it for $15 or so, because you get 62 free spins if you complete all the quests. The gems you get from the gem pass will essentially let you do the additional needed spins in order to hit the Ecto 1. So if you like really want to get something from the event, that's technically probably the cheapest way to, on average, get it. Would be from using the gem pass. The one thing to note, however, is that for the same reason that you have to throw all of your resources into Egon, if you use all of your spins and all of your currency in order to get the Ecto 1, you're not going to have any resources left to forge it up. And so therein lies a little bit of the problem, that in order to get this thing forged up, you need to get the Ecto 1 tokens here, and you need to ideally get it to 3-star forge, which is going to be, let's see, so it's 4,000 for every 1,000. So it's 4,000 for every 1,000, so you need 12,000. So you need 14,000 additional ectoplasm currency to get it up to 3.5-star, to a 3-star forge. So that is just going to be like a whole ton of other spins. So in all honesty, like that, I would not highly recommend that strategy. It will net you the Ecto 1, but it's going to be like just like the base weapon, and you're not going to be able to evolve it all that much. So if you're willing to pay 20 bucks, I'd recommend getting Egon and then putting the resources into Egon. And I take back saying buy Egon on day one, because now I'm thinking through it a little bit more. What could happen if you're free to play is you basically want to do all the spins that you can do. You get about 62 free spins, and if you get lucky during any one of those spins, the odds aren't super high, but if you get lucky and you hit Peter, Venkman, or Ecto 1, then you want to put all the resources into those. So let me take that back. Buy Egon on the last day. Let me check one thing real quick. The one problem I don't remember with Egon is if you need to do these quests. No, okay, you'll get them. You'll be able to claim them all eventually. Okay. Let's see. After you complete the Ghostbuster pass, you'll learn. Let me get my thoughts straight here. So the reason why you want to get Egon relatively early on in the process is because you get access to these additional Egon shards at the bottom. I knew there was a reason why I say get Egon early on. As you clear out the Ghostbuster pass, once you hit level 15, you can start getting additional Egon shards for additional levels you clear in Ghostbusters. And you want to make sure you unlock that by the time you hit level 15, basically. So that's why I was saying get an Egon relatively early. But the other option is just to get lucky during the spins and hit the Ecto 1 or Peter Venkman. And again, then you can put all of the resources you get from the event into them. And that's why you don't want to spend any resources until the very last day of the event. Because you might get lucky on spin 62 and hit Ecto 1 or Peter. In which case, you're going to want to take all of the resources that you got, all that ectoplasm, and work on getting them up to either a 3-star forge or 3-star levels, or 3-star forge and 3-star levels. So waiting until the last day to spend your ectoplasm is always the best strategy, no matter what. And ideally, you want to funnel it all into like one resource, whether it be Egon, Peter, or the Ecto 1. Okay, so Hax has all this written down. Sorry if that wasn't entirely clear in my first readout, but I will do an edited version of this stream that I will put live on the channel next week with like this thought actually coherently like edited together. But high level takeaways, if no matter what you're playing, free to play or pay to play, wait until the last day to spend all your ectoplasm. Make sure to grab Egon if you're going to get him before you start hitting level 15 in the pass down here, because you want to make sure you get his additional shards. And then another option you can think about is using the gem pass in order to get the Ecto 1 and unlock more spins in on the Ghostbuster wheel. That's the high level takeaway there. The way the quests work in this is that after you unlock one quest, another quest fills in behind it. So I'm going to complete a bunch of quests here, and you'll see that after I unlock complete 5 runs, it gives me the option for completing 15 runs. So that can be hidden to some players. You'll notice it as you start unlocking these quests, but unlocking one will then unlock another one, right? And so I need to complete now 40 runs in order to get the next ticket. And that applies for all of these other quests. And I'm pretty sure, as you can see here, that like doing the required action will count towards the next ticket. It is best to claim the ticket before you get the next one. So like I didn't do that optimally here. I remember there being like maybe 1 or 2 tickets where it didn't like save through. But in this case, it does look like they are saving through. So that's good. The quests are all pretty straightforward. Apparently there's one bugged one that there's going to show up later. But there are 2 important quests to notice here. The first one is spending gems, and the second one is to make a purchase in the shop. Making a purchase in the shop, using the web store to make a purchase in the shop for your free weekly gems counts as one of these purchases. So make sure to use the web store to get your free weekly gems each week. If you do it over the course of these 42 days, you'll be able to unlock most of the shop purchases. I think you might need 1 extra. I'm not positive. I think Hacks did the math in this written guide. I think you need to make 1 extra purchase. So like buying Egon does it, or buying the free to pass would do it. I think there's also just like these also 99-cent options you have. If you wanted to like pay money to get the last quest. I don't think I really recommend doing that per se. Like I wouldn't recommend $1 just for an extra spin, but that's me. And then for the gems, so like I spent gems on mining last night for fun, so that's why I got up to here. Spending the gems is also the hard one. I think the last one's like 8,000 gems. That can be tricky to do. I will say, ask your guildmates for tips on how to spend gems. They'll be able to help you out there. Wink, wink. So if you're in a guild, please ask your guildmates on how to spend gems, because they might have some strategies on how to like efficiently spend them. But yeah, getting to 8,000 gems can be hard otherwise. So know that getting like the last couple of spins will be hard, and it's better just like I think just like do a spin than use than like force spend gems. So don't force spend gems for tickets, but talk to your guildmates. They might be able to help you out on how to get gems. Let's see here. Let me take a quick look at the comments, because I've been just going on my own little spin here. Let's see. Yeah, so there is going to be a Ghostbusters event next year. Hopefully it has the same currency and resources, but it might not. I don't know. It's hard to know ahead of time. And the reason why I say don't spend your ectoplasm until the very last day too is the last event. These things last 45 days. Something can happen. So like last event, they introduced hard mode. Maybe this time they'll introduce nightmare mode. Who knows? So you never know how much ectoplasm you'll have until the end, because sometimes they introduce new events or like ways to get it. So just keep that in mind, that I wouldn't recommend actually getting the ectoplasm. Just don't spend your ectoplasm until the last day. Just keep that in mind. That's like, if you learn nothing else from this stream, do that. Let's see here. Okay. All right, I don't think I missed anything. I'm not an AI bot. I am a real person. The Kolz hat is stuck back in St. Louis. I had another hat. I got a haircut. I actually don't look as bald as I was expecting to look, so I'll take it. Good haircut for me. All right. Thanks everybody for joining. Really appreciate it, guys. So my next plan here is to spin this and then magically get one of these Ghostbusters right now so that we can all cheer for me on stream. But probably not going to happen. No. Alright. So again, your average spin is like 67 ectoplasm, so anything more than 67 is a win. Unfortunately, I'm heroic, so I don't need any of these keys, but it's alright. And then let's see if I magically get one of these. Oh. Almost won a trap. Nobody needs keys anymore. Alright, no magic on stream spins for me. I guess the one other thing to note too, for free-to-play heroes, before I start doing some actual gameplay here, the best rewards in the shop. So if you're free-to-play and you get super unlucky and you don't hit any of the heroes or the weapons, my recommendation, if you're pre-heroic, is to grab the golden keys and the silver keys, and then the priority after that would be hero orbs, skill book cores, and skill book ultimates. So for me, this event is probably just going to be a whole lot of hero orbs, skill book cores, and skill book ultimates, most likely. The other option you have are to just put all of your resources into the Ghost Trap. Ghost Trap is the equivalent of like an egg here, and gives you a chance to unlock Slimer, who I haven't talked about yet. So let's go talk about him real quick. Slimer is the special pet from the event. You have a 1% chance to roll a legendary pet, of which Slimer is, and then if you roll a legendary, you got a 50-50 chance to get Slimer. So each Ghost Trap has a 0.5% chance of being Slimer. So that's not very high, but if you do get any currency from the ectoplasm and you don't want to just get hero shards and skill book cores because that's boring, putting it all into Ghost Trap pets is a viable option. Again, you're probably not going to luck out and get Slimer or Blazetail, but you might. Blazetail's the best pet in the game, so that's nice as a nice consolation prize. If you don't get Slimer and get a legendary, Blazetail is the best pet. But we'll take a look at Slimer in a minute here, too. Alrighty. So we went over the Ghostbuster Pass. Again, this is all a very good value if you're willing to spend 20 bucks. The general exchange rewards, like both pre and post heroic, and then alternative ways to get and complete all of your quests. All right, so I'm gonna hop into the campaign. I haven't done this yet, so I don't really know what's coming at me here. As part of the campaign, you get more ectoplasm and you get proton canister, which lets you upgrade Peter Venkman's weapon in the storyline, which is cool. Oh, nice loadout. Look at that. That was really pretty. Let's not play this at 1.6 speed. This is my first time doing this real quick, so I'm going to be seeing in real time with you. I'm on the streets of New York fighting ghosts. Bustin' makes me feel good, right? Who are you going to call? Whoa. All right, let's check the Ecto one out. That looks like fun. And then generally what you want to grab here for weapons. There, look at that cargo. Let's do this. Woo! It's spinning. Okay, and then it runs away. So Peter, first thing to note is that, what is that doing? Peter is an auto aimer, so that's good to know. What do these ecto goggles do? Peter is an auto aimer, so he'll automatically hit targets. It looks like he's hitting one at a time. Hitting one target at a time isn't great, because usually, as you can see here, there's a lot of horde coming at you. But oh, I like the ecto goggles. Cool. But he is auto aiming, so keep that in mind. Look at him spinning to win. The Ecto 1 is fun. It's it reminds me a lot of, let's see, Scrap Hammer or Candy Cane right now. Spinning to win, but then it runs away. So it does have this downtime in between spinning around, crashing into some ghosts for me here. This particle thrower is doing single target damage. That's very not great. I wonder if there's a way to get the line of the particle thrower to hit multiple horde, or in this case, multiple ghosts. Bustin' makes me feel good. Oh wait, is there sound? I don't know if you guys can hear this or not. I'm not gonna be able to hear it because it's streaming. But there might be actual Ghostbuster sound. I didn't think of that. That'd be fun. Okay, so his proton, his particle thrower is doing like a whole bunch of single target damage, but it's not doing AoE. Okay, so that's something to note there. Feel good. And this is just a survive. Okay, and then this event is just a survive for 2 minutes. It looked like. Was there only one weapon option right now? I guess I haven't unlocked the other ones yet. That's probably what it is. Generally, to maximize your damage, you're going to grab Damage Tome and Cooldown Tome. Duplicator Tome usually maxes your damage too. Doesn't look like it can evolve any weapons yet. Bustin' makes me feel good. That's the only line I remember from the song. Oh, Attraction Tome is usually pretty good in these game modes, but doesn't look like I'm going to need it here. Alright. Ecto Goggles did the most damage. Ecto 1 did the least. That's a really nice splash art. Time to learn new skills, guys. Upgrade. What did I get? Ecto Sprayer. Lobs a gadget at a random location that emits physical beams in one direction and starts rotating. 480 degrees. 480% damage, not degrees. Alrighty. And then Ghostbuster Pass, unlock this guy. Yeah, so I think that's what I wanted to say, is make sure you unlock Egon before you get down here to the Ghostbuster Pass extra stages. So that you make sure that you get all the hero shards. You're going to need every hero shard you can get for Egon to make sure that you get him up to 3-star levels by the end of the event. Let's see, I have stage 2, which is just survive for 2 more minutes. So I'll give this a shot real quick, and then I'm going to go over to the other god account and actually play test these guys with like in the real game mode. I think I can run this at 1.6 speed. You can see he's shocking stuff too, so that's probably one of his skills. He's got his particle thrower. Oh, okay. Now I just got these little spinning guys. You see them spinning around? That must be one of his other skills we'll probably learn about. I do enjoy the Ecto 1. What is that little thing? Spinning around. In this game mode, Attraction Tome during like hard mode can be super valuable. I'll probably do a hard mode guide eventually when I unlock it. You can only unlock, I think, 1 stage a day with how this game mode works. So over time you'll unlock everything, but it just goes a little bit slow at the beginning. And Attraction Tome is really strong, Cooldown Tome is strong usually, and Damage Tome is usually strong. But this looks like it's pretty straightforward for now. Just going to go around and I can't evolve anything yet. I don't think the Ecto 1 is getting bigger with Area Tome. It's a small note. Still the same Ecto 1. This one target at a time particle thrower, though, has me a little concerned for like the real game mode, but we'll see. This is a fun little stage. And you unlock one of these stages each day, probably through like the first I guess 15 days, and then you unlock hard mode. And I forget if hard mode you can only unlock one stage at a time or not. Cool. I think I just unlocked 40 runs too, so we get to spin another spin. Yeah. I won't keep playing the actual game mode because that's pretty straightforward. Now I get a ghost trap. Cool. That's fun. Those are my favorite things as a kid. I think I had one of those. Like you could like have like a fake one, you step on it, like kind of like an air rocket, and it would open up. That was pretty fun. Let's see what I got in my market. I think I unlocked one of these other quests. Yeah. All right. So 2 free more spins to let me magically hit something fun midstream. No. And this one? No. All right. But yeah, if you get super lucky and you end up hitting Peter or the Ecto-1, get ready to put all of your ectoplasm into starring them up at the end of the event. And again, don't spend your ectoplasm until the last day because you don't know what you're going to get on the wheel. So that's the general strategy. Is like beat all the levels, have fun with the quests, and then spend all your ectoplasm on the last day, and hopefully get lucky and hit one of the major weapons or Peter. Alrighty. Let's see here. I'm going to hop on now to the God account and actually look at like how strong Peter and Egon are, how strong Slimer is, and how strong Ecto-1 is. So that's the plan now. Let me sign out of here, and then I'm going to disconnect this so I don't dox myself again, because that happened last time. And sign into the God account. The God account got all the resources, which is good. Last time I forgot that you could use super tokens to upgrade a weapon. You do stuff on stream, you gotta think on your feet sometimes. And me and thinking don't always go well together, so. All right, God account incoming. I am never joining Headhunters. No Headhunters, no Ultima for me. Sorry, guys. I'm always a cakery till the end. I was headhunted by Headhunters at the time I joined in cakery, but I went with cakery at the time. So I'm a cakery for life guy. Headhunters is a great guild though. Anyone in there, I've actually DM'd with a lot of the guys there, and they're all great guys too. So if you're in Headhunters, you're also in a great guild. Ultima 2 is also much better. Let's see here. What are we playing? Ghostbusters, Heroes. All right, let's actually look at these guys. So Peter and Egon. This account is so nutty. So nutty. All right, let's look at Peter first. So Peter is, you're only going to grab him from the wheel, and you get, so you can either spin him in the wheel, or you're going to have to get 17,500 ectoplasm. Is that what we're going for here? Not past market. Oh, he's unlocked. Yeah, so he's 17,500 ectoplasm. That is, unless you get incredibly lucky, almost impossible to get with, it's impossible to get with the pity system and the 100 spins. You're going to have to land on him, basically, in order to get him, unless you're willing to spend a whole bunch of gems or a whole bunch of money. So don't expect to get Peter unless you're willing to put in, right, it's 67 gems per spin. So if we do 1750 divided by 67, you're going to have to do 261 spins on average in order to get Peter. You get, let's call it 60 for free. You're going to have to spend 40,000 gems in order to get Peter, which I think is far too much. So I would not recommend getting the 17.5 through just spins. I would hopefully you just hit him in your first 100 spins during the pity system. So he's a little bit of a white whale here, but let's check him out anyway. Let's see here. So first off, he does magical damage, so that's cool. Let's see, is it magical? Yeah, magical damage. He does evo his weapon, and it evolves with cooldown tome. Okay, I don't see it here just because I'm in the Scott account. It's a little bit bugged out, but his weapon does evolve with cooldown tome. So evolving your weapon with cooldown tone is actually, this is like a small thing, a little bit of like a nerf. It's not ideal. Cooldown you use all the time in normal mode, hard mode, and regular arena, but you don't use it at all in hard mode arena and in nightmare mode and Dragon's Tower. So having your weapon evolve off a cooldown tome isn't ideal for like late game players, but it's fine for most everybody else. He does magical damage. Let's see here. His level progression is more damage, health, effect duration. His first global is 100 health. His second global is effect duration, and his third global is just plus 25 damage. Okay, so those are pretty weak all hero globals, but his level 90 times 105 to damage is good if you have other alternative universe heroes. So if you have any of the Avatar guys, or you get Egon and him, that 1.05 damage is actually pretty good. Just real quick. Ooh, I can't see his forge? That's weird. Okay, I'll go back to my other account if I can't get into his forge for some reason. Can I see your forge, buddy? That's odd. Okay. This God account's a little bit buggy. When you're accused of cheating, then you're not. It gave me a little bugs out a little bit. Oh, nice! I got boss brawl rewards. Go me. So I think his other global. Let me check Discord real quick. So I think Hack's wrote it down. Let me see here. Okay, so Peter Venkman's 3-star forge is +1 to projectiles, which is actually a pretty strong forge. So his all hero options here aren't great, but his 3-star weapon forge is really strong at +1 projectile. So if you grab Peter, if you got lucky and grabbed Peter from the wheel, what I would actually probably recommend doing is getting hero shards to get him up to star level 2, which unlocks his ultimate. And then, oh man, someone correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think you only need star level 2 in order to get access to his 3-star forge. Is that correct? Usually I would just double check, but I can't see it on this account. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is, again, this is right out of Hax's playbook right here. But what I would recommend doing is getting him up to his 2nd star level with hero shards, and then putting all the rest of the currency you can get into his forge to get his 3-star forge. That'll net out to like the most account-wide benefit that you can grab from Peter. The +1 projectile from his weapon is like the really nice global here for your whole account. Looking at his skills, okay, so we already identified that his particle thrower only attacks 1 horde at a time. So keep that in mind. And then his other skills are Ecto Sprayer. Lobs a gadget at a random location. The gadget emits particle beams in one direction and starts rotating. Okay, so that was that little thing that I saw spinning around and I thought was pretty cool. And that actually slows all enemies hit by 30%. Okay, so that's a nice little skill. Let's upgrade that. He gets Adventure Hero Scaling, so you will do more damage, significantly more damage at higher star levels. So let's up him to 5, I guess, for now. And then Spectre Coil. Throw a Spectre Coil that jumps between enemies and deals 1400 damage, upgrading this more. Okay. So we saw that in that's the little silver beam that was shooting out from him too. Okay, thanks for checking. Yeah, 2-star. So it's 2-star levels will unlock the 3-star forge. So that's good. And then cross the streams. All kills fill a meter. So all kills is good. That means that any kill will go towards it. Once full, the beam fires towards the facing direction. The beam deals a whole bunch of damage per tick for 10 seconds. Okay. Hopefully this hits more than one horde too. So right now my big concern here with him, just from like really quickly playing, is he doesn't have a ton of AoE. So some of these skills do, but his main weapon doesn't. So something to keep in mind as we give him a shot here. His 140 damage. So I didn't do all the math here, but if you want to get him all the way up to 5-star levels, it's either going to cost you a whole bunch of gems in the market. So unfortunately, I didn't do the math before the stream, but from here you can purchase, let's see, 20 times. You can purchase 500 hero shards here from ectoplasm. You're going to need to fill in the rest by buying them. Hero shards. So 500 hero shards will get you to star level 4, but you need 1,000 total shards to get you up to star level 5. So to get the needed 5-star levels, you either have to max out the ectoplasm for it, or you have to start buying it here, and it's going to cost you like, let's see, somewhere around $250. It looks like, to get him to 5-star levels. So keep that in mind. If you really want to beast this guy out the way I just did on this god account, you're going to need to spend about $250 on hero shards to do it. Something like that, because you need 1,000 of them. And then hero forge, let's see. Again, unfortunately, this like it's bugged out right now, and I can't see the forge. Oh, that's lame. Ooh, I got the bulwark. Cool. I thought I had evolved these yesterday, too. Okay. I'll have to go back to the other account to look at the forge. But expect to spend like $500, sorry, $250 it looks like to get all the shards, and then for hero tokens, you're going to need 8,500. God, the math here is so almost there. Gosh, you're going to have to spend some ectoplasm there, but then look at another, let's see, 175. So all in, you're going to need to spend about $500 if you wanted to get one hero at maxed out, basically. And that's if you spin him in the wheel. So if you want to grab Egon right, it'd be $20 to grab Egon, and then something like $500 to max him out. And again, you're going to have to spend that money because you're not going to be able to get super tokens. You can't use super tokens to level them up later, and you won't get hero shards from like portals or from other events. So you're looking at something like $500 to get a max 5-star hero. So like this guy right now is like $500 all in to get him like this, something like that. So keep that in mind. All right, so I'm gonna give him a shot real quick. My plan was to do a boss brawl run and check out the damage that he does in boss brawl. So let's see if we can find him. It's always fun to try and find. All right, here he goes. Here's Peter. And then on the pet side, oh, we got Slimer. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to upgrade him all the way. Whee! I haven't talked about Slimer yet. Okay. I guess I should have done this pre-stream. I didn't think of upgrading the Slimer all the way. Make sure I didn't miss this here. Okay, cool. What's he eat? How does Slimer eat? I haven't seen the movies in a long time. How does he eat? He doesn't like actually eat hot dogs, right? Like, don't they just go like through him because he's a ghost? How does he? What, have they put any thought into the metaphysics of how a ghost would be able to hold a hot dog and a piece of pizza if they're a ghost? Like, does that mean that he's actually physically present? There's got to be like some dissertation thesis written about this, right? Oh, wait. Wait. Do you see this, guys? There's two, this account has 2-star biscuits. Those exist. I don't know if we've ever seen them in an event, but there are 2-star biscuits available. That's a little Easter egg for you. I don't think I've ever seen a 2-star biscuit before. Haunted Buffet. Slimer has a 5% chance to gorge enemies he walks through. When gorging enemies, Slimer grows in size. Oh, he keeps getting bigger and bigger and dealing more damage. All right, cool. I wonder, are they going to be 3-star biscuits? Oh man, 3-star biscuits. Cool. There's something for you. I wonder if they're going to have 4-star biscuits. Do they go all the way? Oh man, I'm running out of cash, I think. No, I'm not. Yes, I am? Am I running out of cash? No, I think I'll have enough. All right, do we have 4-star biscuits? We have 4-star biscuits! 4-star biscuits! I wonder how much these things cost. $7,000 for a 4-star biscuit. Boom. Cool. I didn't know that existed. 4-star biscuits. Very cool. All right. And then I'm going to deploy Slimer. And I'll do a little bit more on Slimer later. I haven't looked at him at all yet, but let's see. He's going to waddle into foes. That's a passive. He deals movements. Okay. All right, and we got Gorge. All right. So we got 3-star biscuits, everybody. And 4-star biscuits. Very cool. Let's see, equipment. This is generally correct. Boss Brawl, they just nerfed Boss Brawl. They nerfed my favorite game mode. So no longer can you freeze bosses during their vulnerability phase. Like when you revive, they're no longer frozen. And you can see here that that the Wizard Ring was adding 0.5 damage, 1.5 times damage during Frozen, which was huge. So they removed a lot of like the super high scores from Boss Brawl because they removed Frozen as a status multiplier. But now you run, I think you run Rogue Ring. I think Rogue is the best to run because Rogue has a 1.3 times damage to poison. So keep that in mind. You're no longer running Wizard Ring, you're running Rogue Ring. And I actually have a video on like new Boss Brawl strategies coming out in a couple days. So you're leaning into your firstborn for a 4-star biscuit. That's what it requires. Some biblical amount of sacrifice. Oh my God, this guy's got 96,000 damage. I just broke 10,000. I was pretty happy. This guy's got 96,000 damage. What are we doing? Look at these jewels. Oh, that's crazy. All right. Hopefully his weapon evolves. I thought yesterday I forged it up in preparation for the stream, but it doesn't look like it's there right now. Maury, I didn't get the upgrade. I didn't get the new version yet, unfortunately. I tried to check right before the stream, and I haven't been given the upgrade yet, or the new patch. So for Boss Brawl, doing like a quick lesson on Boss Brawl as we do this, you're looking to get status multipliers against the boss. Whoa, Slimer! So you want to get Burning, Expose, Bleed, and Poison. I'm going to try and do the same build for both Peter and for Egon so we can get a sense of what their damage is. Let's see here. I don't know if I actually have the exact... I don't know if I have poison darts set up for this or not, so... Oh man, I can't evolve his weapon. That's too bad. So, I guess the one thing to note, because he's doing single target damage, hopefully he does well here in Boss Brawl. Let's see, I think he's already at max crit, we don't need that. So bosses, you want to stack status multiples. I don't know if I'm going to have all of them. I don't know if I have poison darts available. And then you want to max out your main weapon. Oh, I do have poison darts, cool. And then you want to max out, usually Spiky Borer for me is the second highest damage item in Boss Brawl. You grab Duplicator Tome because every additional projectile adds some multiple to damage. It's diminishing marginal returns, but think of it like anywhere from like a 7 to 10% increase in your damage. So Duplicator Tome is important. It's actually more important than Critical Strike Tome, if you ever have to decide between the two. And this is a pretty standard... Let's see, I have XP Tome, so what am I missing? I'm missing Damage Tome. This is a pretty standard Boss Brawl build for me. So I'll kind of pause it here, right? So I have Bleed from Fangs, Exposed from Slingshot, Poison from Poison Darts. Ideally, I get Burning from a pet or from... ideally, I get Burning from a pet. So I should have Flame Striker in here, but I think I sacrificed him by accident. So I don't have him in this instance. Never reshuffle during a run, but I'm going to do it here. Oh, I have Damage Tome. What am I missing? I guess I'm missing Critical Strike Tome. But I already have max crit with this guy. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean 2 times speed here. The other important thing to do with a boss is to optimize your revive. So when you die and revive, you come back with Revive Rage that significantly ups your damage. And you want to time your Revive Rage with the death of the boss so that you get, or sorry, with the vulnerability phase of the boss so to maximize your damage. And that's basically Boss Brawl in a 2-minute lesson. I don't think Slimer's going to be able to gorge anything, but I'll give him a shot. Let's see. Take Critical Strike just for fun. And this is a very typical Boss Brawl build for me. So right now he's going to start throwing a Monkey Party. I have to try and die, ideally at like the 4-second mark is the goal here. So it's like, come on, Peter. Die, buddy. No, don't level up. Right. You know what? I'm actually not going to die. So I, in theory, should have tried to die there. I should have died there. But since we're just doing a damage check, I actually don't want to die, now that I think about it. So we can compare him to Peter, or to Egon. All right, and then let's speed this guy up. So it's unfortunate I can't evolve his weapon, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's funny how I fail to die on stream basically like every time. I can just never time my deaths right on stream. I actually had a pretty good week this week considering all the nerfs. Cool. All right, so he did 850 billion damage. Let's see here. Particle Thrower did more than Spiky Borer, so that's a good sign. Generally in Boss Brawl, you want to make sure that the main weapon is doing more than Spiky Borer. And he is doing single target damage, so it would make sense that that one's higher than Spiky Borer. All right, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. 5, 6, 7, 5, 9, 5, 9, 8. Okay. Not bad, Peter. Grab that. So now let's look at Egon. So Egon, obviously, the only way to grab him is through spending the $20 for the event. Let's see. I think this is supposed to be physical damage. I think Hacks confirmed that this weapon is supposed to be physical because everything else in his kit is physical damage, but this PKE meter is supposed to be physical damage. And it evolves off of Damage Tome. So evolving off of Damage Tome is much better because damage tome is core to every single game mode's built, and so you'll be able to evolve it in every single game mode. So that's better for Egon. -5 ultimate activation requirement, that's strong. 20% damage to physical, 20% damage to physical on his globals. -2 ultimate activation for his faction, and then physical damage. So those are very weak globals. The all hero globals here are very, very weak. This is just additive physical damage, so those aren't great. And what is his weapon? Let's see what his weapon is. Let's see if Hax has it here. His 3-star forge is just magical damage, which isn't great. Let's see. Plus 40 magical? Oh, maybe he's supposed to be magical and not physical here. Maybe it was that way. Okay, so I think Hax confirmed that he's supposed to be plus magical damage here and not plus physical damage. They're going to fix that in the next event. Considering the globals. Okay, so it looks like Egon's 3-star forge in his weapon is some multiplier to damage based on Hax's guide. So that's pretty strong. So we'll take a multiple to damage. Is one of the stronger globals in the game, but that's for his weapon. His 3-star level all heroes global is actually pretty weak. So again, this would be like Peter, where you want to get him to 2-star levels and then focus on getting his forge to 3-star. So kind of just going back to like the very beginning, if you do buy Egon in the pass, you're going to want to spend the rest of the event making sure you get him up to 2-star levels and getting his 3-star forge. That would be my like $20 Egon recommendation. Would be grab him with the pass and then work on getting him to 2-star levels and 3-star forge. Now, I think Hax did the math. I'm not entirely sure if that's possible given like the free-to-play resources. You might have, but that would be the best play-to-play buy in my book. All right, let's look at his skills real quick. Every 5 seconds, Egon emits a 360-degree shockwave, dealing damage and slowing enemies. Okay, that's solid. Get this guy upgraded. So this is every 5 seconds. He just does a whole bunch of damage across the whole screen. And then here, class 7, energy detected. Every 10 seconds, Egon channels the PKE meter towards the strongest enemy. The target enemy receives 5% bonus damage through the PKE meter. So this is amping your damage through the PKE meter, so just the weapon. I wonder if this is like expose. I guess we'll see if the visual happens there. Or if it's just for the main weapon. And then Spectral Ally. All kills fill a meter. Once full, Egon unshackles a friendly assisting ghost. Cool. The Spectral Ally channels the beam of energy at enemies dealing damage, and Egon can have multiple ghosts at the same time. Cool, you can have a little army of ghosts. That's cool. Was Slimer the only actual, like, nice ghost in the game? Okay, so I will relog in a second here and see if I can unlock the forge that way. My plan was to go back to my own account and look at the forges, but let me log out and log back in here real quick. Okay, the one problem is I did, for Boss Brawl, let me run Egon without his forge, and then I'll go log in, log back out, or log out, log back in, and try him with and then I'll look at the forges. So, let's see here. Boss Brawl, Egon. Alright, let's see what this guy's got. Sorry guys, I'm finally looking at the chat. I will restart the game and after this and give it another shot. Let's see here. And Lena said too, she's giving away 2 Ghostbuster passes at the end of the stream. So if you stay to the end and you make a comment during the stream, that'll enter you in a chance to win a Egon pass, Ghostbuster pass. Woo! Okay, look at his little area of effect here. Let's get visibility mode on. All right, I wonder what's happening in this big area. And again, I'm gonna. Oh! Oh, the Ecto one. I didn't build that last time, so I won't build it this time. Look at his little spinny things. Cool. Whoa! Okay, that was the 360 burst damage. What are we looking for here? Damage tome, cooldown tome, get Slimer going. Yes, any kind of comment. You can just write hi, and that'll enter you into the giveaway. I'm just going to do a random number generator at the end. So I don't get accused of any bias or rigging the election. All right, I got to stand close to him though. So with Egon, he does a lot of, looks like there's going to be a lot of damage, but it's going to be like super concentrated in this little circle around him. So I'm going to try and keep this circle around the boss without dying. One tidbit from for boss brawl is to actually equip one movement speed jewel. Because they disabled slows from bosses, they're actually kind of fast now, and having one movement speed jewel lets you just make sure you don't get like hit by boss. So I grabbed movement speed tome here just because he's already got maxed out crit, so I don't really need it, and it's let me like move around a little faster. The other option too is at like super high level, some people take wizard boots, but I like collecting the XP as I go, just as like an old school, I've always been doing it kind of thing. All right, it is a little bit hard to see though with visibility mode on. I gotta upgrade Borer ideally here before this vulnerability phase. So, guys, never reshuffle. I just have literally a million gems here, so I'm doing it. But don't reshuffle don't spend gems on reshuffles. It's poor form. It's not Kolz approved. It's not Spider Pig approved. All right, guy. Cool. All right, run this at 2 times speed a little bit. Whee. 2 times speed is nuts. I think they should start adding achievements to the game. And one of the achievements would just be like doing everything at like over 1.5 times speed. Trying to beat Dragon's Tower at 1.5 speed is crazy, crazy hard. All right. Oh, there's his. What is that shooting out? Oh, that's his ghost. I got a ghost. Cool, his ultimate went off. Oh, okay. And the big thing to note too here, right, is that his weapon is doing AoE damage. It's got this weird kind of pause, right, where like the little circle things go away and then they come back out. But it is AoE at least, so we got that going for him. That's better in regular game modes than Peter's single target damage usually. Usually you want AoE attacks because this is the difference between like Arcane Mage and Knight. Knight can hit an infinite number of Horde with one projectile, whereas Arcane Mage can only hit one Horde at a time. So that's why Knight's better earlier in the game too. We got a Peter Egon situation there. Look at that ghost. Okay, these ally ghosts are really cool. Look at him. You can have multiple going if you get your. Okay, so that's why he has a lot of his build deals with reducing ultimate activation, is so that you can have multiple ghosts flying around. And you can see here, right, PKE meter came in below Spiky Borer. That's not what you want to see. Ideally, you want the main weapon for a good boss brawl hero to be above Spiky Borer. So for a point of reference, Peter got 567 billion base, and he got 278 billion base. So Peter is twice as strong single target damage as Egon. So that's what we learned there. Now let me quit the game and come back in and see if I can get these forges up and running. So excuse me while I close the map. Alright. Let's see here. Alright, back in. Hey, we got a forge! Woo! And I learned last time I can use super tokens to unlock this. Or in this case, alternate universe tokens. Because you can't use super tokens. Yeah, 2 times speed is nuts. So I have, I think, 1.6 speed on my personal account, and 2 times speed is just crazy. I think this game would be a lot of fun with achievements. I think that's a system that's a little bit lacking, is like there is no achievement system. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. And then it's like crazy stuff like that. Okay, cool. So the forges are unlocked. And now I actually kind of know what they do. So I'll be able to talk about them a bit. First I'm going to look at Peter's forge. So the particle thrower turns into proton overload, which is still only hitting 1 horde at a time. Is that the evolved version? Particle thrower, proton overload. Alright, looks like it's more constant damage, but still single focused. Overloaded targets radiate unstable energy. Okay, so now the horde that is hitting is going to hit other horde nearby, in theory, although it doesn't look like that's happening from this preview. But we'll take a look at that. Alright, see what we got here. In the particle thrower forge, the eco sprayer now lays down 2 eco sprayers, but reduces their damage by 60. What's an eco sprayer? Okay, it's one of those little guys that circles in 360 degrees. So that will be good for game modes where you have to hit a lot of horde. And the ecto sprayer deals 120% increased damage, so that is good for single target damage. Stabilized core. The Spectre Coil does stay in place instead of teleporting to random positions. Increases the amount of Spectre Coil teleportations by 2. Throw a Spectre Coil that jumps between enemies and deals damage. Alright. So the option there is to have it jump more and therefore do more damage, or stay put. And I guess you can then play around it. Interesting. So if the stabilized core is in one spot, you could play around its location. Depending where it is on the battlefield, you could like stand closer to or farther away from it, or next to it. Okay, so we already went over the proton. Okay, so here's the 3-star forge, is +1 projectile. Again, think of that as anywhere from like a 1.07 to 1.1 times damage. So +1 projectiles are actually some of the strongest in the game. Again, if you get Peter from the wheel, I would recommend putting in all of your resources on the last day to trying to get up to this 3-star forge. That'll give you the best global improvement to your account. And then 4-star is overloaded target radiates damage, and the end of the cross the streams will cause a giant explosion that will deal 300% damage. Or proton overload, enemies burn for 5 seconds, dealing 100% damage per tick. So total protonic reversal would be a AoE attack, and proton burn is again single focused. So Peter seems like he's very strong in boss brawl. Peter is very much a single target damage hero. It would be interesting to see eventually when like Mosin or someone who's at the top of the boss brawl charts gets Peter, like what he's doing here. So, right, like if Mosin or Tesla or Wisdom or any of these guys get Peter up to 5 and 5, he might actually be like really strong for boss brawl, because basically all of his targets are single target focused. All of his skills and forge are single target focused. So he's not going to be great, I think, for clearing out like normal game modes, but like as a boss brawl hero, this guy seems really, really strong. That's pretty cool. So what you're looking at with the forge options, you basically in each one of these have the option for more single target damage or more area of effect damage. I'll run like nightmare mode real quick, I guess, and see how they do there, or I can run like I can run an end of hard mode. The only issue is just going to be that, like, I'm pretty sure Egon's just going to, like, out damage Peter, but I guess that might not be the case, because Egon is much more of a AoE kind of guy. So we got reduced paranormal voice cooldown by 2, or paranormal burst now causes 2 additional pushback. And paranormal burst. Egon emits a shockwave that damages and slows enemies. So it doesn't say anything about pushback here, like a lot of other stuff in this game, but for some reason this says now causes additional 2 pushback. I don't know what 2 pushback is, but I imagine it maybe adds pushback. So let's assume that. Versus reducing the cooldown, which is just a straight damage amp. That's actually a pretty big damage amp too. So 2 seconds on a 5-second ability. That's a 40% cooldown. So that's a big damage amp. That's good to know. For this skill, going from 5 seconds to 3 seconds is a big damage amp. Overclocked, increase all spotlight travel speed by 20%. Add an additional enemy. Additional enemy is highlighted by class 7 entity detected. And that was single target damage, right? Okay. 2-star forge there. I think, to me, unless you're doing boss brawl, we wouldn't even use that. I think this is the way to go the whole time. Overclocked meter increases all spotlight travel by 2%. And the spotlight, I'm guessing, is that thing that's around Egon. Because I don't see spotlight anywhere else mentioned. Let's see here. And then we got, I was just checking the chat, sorry. So it was 1.025 times to damage. So again, this is really good. If you get Egon from the pass, I would try and get your way here. I would try to get him to level 100 and then make your way towards this 3-star forge. That'll net out the most benefit to your account. Ectoplasmic Tracker. An extra spotlight sweeps the field, locking onto foes and dealing steady damage. Cool. Where is this spotlight? It must be the... Okay, so that's spotlight up top that's bouncing around. Kind of looks like one of Clockwork Mage's extra discs, or like the Chakram from Assassin. And it's just doing more AoE damage. And then this is each ghost when I'll cast a single beam that deals 20% increased damage. Each ghost has 2-second cooldown for their attack. Okay. So this is impacting his ultimate. And then enemies that die while being targeted by a ghost have a chance of being dematerialized, leaving behind a damage zone that deals 200% weapon damage per tick. So that is a lot like Dark Mage. Dark Mage has a skill where she leaves like behind an area that will do damage. The only issue with this is you need to kill a horde. So in game modes where you can't kill hordes, obviously like boss brawl, they won't have any effect. Or in game modes where it's harder to, probably still worth it. It'll leave like a blood pool, like Warlord. All right. So let me give each one of these guys a shot now that I have their forged up in something like Nightmare mode, and we can see how much damage they do. So I'm gonna go like full damage mode, but in Nightmare mode. Let's see what happens with this. Oh yeah, and then we gotta look at, real quick, the Ecto 1 too. Alright, let me finish my testing of Peter and Egon, and then we'll look at the Ecto 1. So, 281 here. We got Slimer going. And we got Egon first. And then, let's see how we have forged these up for now. So, paranormal cooldown. Let's add pushback, see if we can notice that. I'm going to keep overclocked meter. And This evolves off of Damage Tome. Alright, let's give this a shot. Yeah, Echo 1 looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to have fun playing with that one too. Let's just grab it, because why not? And then I'm going to try and focus on the PKE meter here. Ideally, I want like Armor Tome. Guys, don't reshuffle. Oh, he's an auto aimer. I guess he doesn't really attack, right? He only does these circles around him. Is this? Let me put visibility mode on. We can check out what Slimer's doing too during all this craziness. So Slimer is a melee hero, or melee pet. Look at that ult. Slimer's melee, keep that in mind. And he's just flying around doing Slimer things. I have 2 ghosts now. Cool. 3 ghosts. That's a fun. I'll tell you what. That's a fun ultimate. All right, he evolves off of Damage Tome, yeah. Oh man, this is pumping some deeps, guys. I mean, this account's broken out of its mind, but this is pretty solid. These ghosts are doing their thing. It's very, very cool. You know what I should do? I should try this in Dragon's Tower too, probably. It'd be fun. Let me just max out this build. I'm going to go 2 times speed, see if I can get this a little faster. No. Alright, and then we'll check out the evolution in a little bit more detail here. Alright, Ectoplastic Tracker. So we're going to get the extra thing on the field here. Let's see what we got. So you can see it up there. Oh, it jumps to and then targets a horde too. So I don't know if you guys caught that, but that thing that's bouncing around, right? See how it's getting stuck on one of the horde, one of the rats when it gets to it? So these guys are dying too fast. This dude's pumping deeps. This is nightmare mode. And he's just unleashing on these guys. But that spotlight does track one horde and then focuses on them. So that's pretty cool. I wonder if that'll be stronger in boss Brawl with the evolution, because it'd be just targeting on the boss. So it's a little bit unfortunate I didn't have the evolution there. All right, and then obviously we have the spinning spotlights around him. And we got, oh, what's Slimer gonna do? Let's see if Slimer, oops, that was poor timing. Slimer's cooldown lasts 20 seconds? I feel like that's really long. Slimer's ultimate lasts 20 seconds? I feel like usually, I shouldn't have grabbed cooldown tome there, but whatever. I feel like pet ultimates usually last 10 seconds. His lasts 20. Let's see if we can watch him gorge on anything. Honestly, Egon's doing such a ton of damage right now, it doesn't even matter. I really enjoy this. His ultimate is a lot of fun. These ghosts are really, really cool. And the fact that you can like proc multiple at the same time is really fun. Yeah, he's going to be strong. He's going to be strong in normal mode, hard mode, arena. So we got pushback. I'm not even noticing the pushback because he's just doing way too much damage. He just murdered that loot goblin. Oh god. Alright, this is pretty solid deeps. I mean, this account is broken, but from like a fun perspective, the ultimate ghosts are awesome. These little spectral allies, those are a lot of fun. It's very rewarding having them shoot up. So like, I say an unrewarding ultimate would be something like, nice, you never get too many rupees, too many gems. An unrewarding ultimate would be somebody like Echo, where you lose agency. This is just like unexpected joy hopping out of it. Oh, why did my screen get all messed up again? Let me plow through this really quick so we can get the end of screen damage numbers. And it looks like I was doing so well on the screen not bugging out on me, but decided to bug out again. Alright, let's see if I missed anything here in the chat. So this is the God account, guys. This is 5-star Egon with a 5-star Forge, just blasting through these ghosts and these Hordes. This is very impressive. Yeah, the Ecto 1 is super fun. Okay, let's check his damage numbers real quick. So 85 million out of Ectoplasmic Tracker and only 8 million out of Slimer. Slimer looked like he was not doing a lot of work there. So let's keep that in mind. We got 85 million on damage and 8 million on Slimer. Oh man, I unlocked chapter 282. Now I'm going to try Peter with the same setup. And my concern here, right, is just that he's again going to be single target focused, but we'll find out. Grab the Ecto 1, armor. Okay, but it might be the fact that he does so much single target damage that nothing can get even close to him. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. And then also the problem here, right, is I need cooldown tome in order to evolve him. All right, I'm going to have to start actually kiting a little bit here. Oh no. I guess I can use, oh gosh. Dagger of Dawn was too much visibility. Let's see. Particle Thrower. I'm going to try and stand near, like, he's got these little spinning guys. I forget what they're called exactly. But that's his, like, only source of AoE. Cooldown Tome. Oh, man. Dagger of Dawn was a bad choice. Sorry, guys. And then let's evolve this thing. Particle Thrower. Take Damage Tome. Oh, Ecto 1 has a sound effect? That would be awesome. Yeah, I can't, right now I think my streaming setup is too janky, unfortunately, to hear the sound from the game, unless I like unplugged it, so. I wanted to pipe it in, but I couldn't make it happen today. Alright, can we go faster now? Let's see here. Let's evolve this guy. Proton Overload. Okay, so now in theory, when they die, they should kind of explode. Let's see if I can watch it happen. Oh, they're not getting clumped up yet. I feel like Dagger of Dawn was just a bad choice. Sorry about that, guys. Don't think this stuff really matters. Ecto 1, Ecto 1. What does the Ecto 1 evolve off of? I didn't even check that. Probably Damage Tome would be my guess. Oh, it's Duration Tome, isn't it? Look at it spinning, though. Okay, he's taking some damage, whereas like Egon at this point just wasn't. So his AoE is just lacking relative to Egon, but his single target damage is going to be way higher. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, so the current mine event that's going on in parallel. Man, why does this keep happening? I thought I fixed this. The mine event. So my personal favorite item in the mine event is the slingshot. That said, you need to get both slingshot and scrap hammer leveled up to 5-star forge to make them like super viable. So I would still recommend, I think, getting slingshot first and then scrap hammer and then yo-yo. But you do need to get it up to 5-star forge to get its full potential. Scrap hammer at 5-star forge for end of game players. So if you're trying to beat hard mode arena or nightmare mode, or I guess more hard mode arena or dragon's tower, scrap hammer at 5-star forge is massively important. particularly in Dragon's Tower. You put 1 point in it, and the fact that it's always on the screen and has no cooldown means that it's super, super high value in Dragon's Tower because it just constantly knock back Horde. So I kind of, that's why I like Scrap Hammer so much, but you do need to evolve it or put the super tokens in to get a 5-star Forge, whereas Dynamite Slingshot becomes really helpful at 2-star Forge. So I still think, I guess Dynamite Slingshot is probably the best buy, then Scrap Hammer, and then Yo-Yo. All three of them are very strong weapons, so I'm excited to get Yo-Yo this time. I will say I also liked playing Egon a lot more than this. Egon's Ghost, super rewarding. His ultimate here, less so. It's just that giant stream of beam that's shooting out, and it's directional. So not nearly as rewarding as Egon's. So my quick take from one boss brawl run, one nightmare run here, Egon's more fun to play than Peter. Slimer, too, real quick here, doesn't look super great in terms of a damaging pet. He did 15 million this time, probably because he was able to access more Horde. And Peter did less damage than Egon. So in the previous run, Egon did 85 million damage a second, and Slimer did 8. And here, he's doing Peter's doing 66, and Slimer's doing 15. So Egon is going to be the better hard mode, normal mode, arena hero, and Peter will be better for boss brawl. The one thing I would like to check too is just running Crystal Saurus with the same setup. I want to run Crystal Saurus with the same setup and check the damage relative to Slimer. I know this isn't particularly fun. This is just a little bit of testing going on now, but what I'm interested to see is Crystal Saurus' damage here relative to Slimer to get a sense of how strong Slimer is. And you can see that Crystal Saurus' ultimate only lasts 10 seconds. So Slimer's 20-second ultimate is actually really long as far as ultimates go. Let's see, anything else to catch up on in chat? Who's driving the Ecto one? Who drives it in the movies? I forget who drives in the movie. I'm out of boss brawl tickets. What I'll do, I'm gonna do an edited version of this stream for an actual video this week, where I take out all of the weird pauses and all my fidgeting with the videos and stuff, and put together a more coherent single track thought. And in that, I will do a run in the next couple of days with their forges on boss brawl and see how that impacts them. And that'll be a note in the video. So keep that in mind. Anything I kind of miss here, I will go back and add in post to the edited version for the YouTube video that'll come out this week. So I'll have an edited version of this that is easier to track and follow than my kind of real-time train of thought. Yeah, the Ecto one. I'll check the Ecto one next. That'll be my next little buy here, or next little review. Let me just really plow through this nightmare mode to get a read on Slimer's damage relative to Crystal Saurus, with a very similar setup. I know this isn't exactly the same, but let's see. Yeah, dude, no problem, Mike. If you already have all the weapons, right, forging them up is the big thing to spend on here in the mine event. I have a whole video on how to optimize the mine. So for I've recently been getting super lucky and getting the weapons for 1,500 gems. You should be able to get the weapon for anywhere from 1,500 to 4,000 gems, guaranteed, if you play the mine correctly. So I have a YouTube video, I have an article, and I think there's even something in the creator corner about it. But the key thing for mine is to go down instead of going instead of grabbing every single thing on the way down, make sure to grab only the things that are 45 or more coins on the way down. Into like 2 or 3 separate videos, so that'll let me create more content out of like the same set of work. So if you can't make a live stream, I am working on editing them down instead of being like an hour and 20 minutes long down to like 10, so you can get like the best of the live streams. I had a lot of fun beating Dragon's Tower the last couple weeks, and by fun I mean it's like super nerve-wracking and like it makes me very anxious, but it's good learning, and I've been like just barely making it through sometimes. So I've been doing that on and off stream. It's been kind of fun. I did the Bulwark review, and I turned the Bulwark review into a video, and the video was so much better than the live stream, just for like understanding the information from it. Okay, so the thing to note here is Crystal Source is up to 25 million, whereas it was 15 million last time. So Slimer is doing like half the damage as Crystal Source. And again, that's not like a perfect review, but I don't think Slimer is going to be like a max DPS pet. And that's just because of the way his kit's built. And if I look at it real quick too, I didn't look at his passive. So Slimer waddles towards enemies. So he's a melee pet, and he leaves behind a trail. The problem with leaving a trail behind him is that if the Horde die when he kills them, then they'll never hit the trail. So a little bit of a problem with that. His passive is every 3 attacks from the active pet causes it to spew a slime glob that splashes around the target. The slime glob deals 200% damage and leaves behind a midi puddle that slows the enemy by 40%. 200% is a really good multiple on a passive. That's the same as Shell Shock. That looks like a very, 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 very strong passive. Every 3 attacks from the active pet causes it to spew a slime glob. It deals 200% and leaves a puddle for 4 seconds. That seems very strong. That looks like a very, very strong passive. Active effect is he moves his speed and deals more damage. The slime deals more damage. Okay, that's probably why he wasn't doing great in Nightmare mode. And then Slimer has a chance of 5% to gorge enemies. He walks through and he makes them do more damage. Slimer is fun. He's like a fun animation. This passive looks very strong. So I don't know if I would use him as a main pet except for fun. And that like he's probably not going to be a max damage pet. I bet you Blazetail and Crystal Source will still out damage him generally. But this passive is great. So if you get it, this is one of the better passes in the game, it looks like. A slow and a lot of damage. So that's very cool. So if you get Slimer, the passive here is the way you want to go. He's also a water. Oh, he's the first water. No, second water. Rare. Legendary guy. Yeah, and then Blazetail is the highest DPS pet in the game too. So like if you get him from the pet eggs, congratulations. Does anybody have any questions on Slimer or anything they want me to look at in particular? Ask in chat and I'll go try and address them. Ray drove the Ecto one, so Ray's the driver. Hopefully he comes out next year. All right, the Ecto one. Let's see. This is the Evo, and this is reversed. Yeah, okay. So this is actually the Evo. So the Evo adds that circle. So it felt a lot like Scrap Hammer or Candy Cane. However, adding this circle from the evolution is actually really, really big. That leaves a constant set of damage instead of the periodic damage of the spinning. And that constant damage is actually super important. So that looks pretty cool. What we got here? More damage, that's great. More projectile speed. I guess projectile speed probably impacts how fast the car drives. That's cool. Cooldown. Cooldown and pushback. Cooldown is good early in the game. I don't know. I have to check Hax's guide. I don't know if Ecto 1 runs on its own cooldown timer or on the general cooldown timer. If it's its own cooldown timer, then this 15% cooldown could be important. Otherwise, the pushback is probably the way to go. And pushback is still probably better in Dragon's Tower. Not sure. Yes, AIM, I'll show the passive for Slimer. Thank Mez. Thanks for showing up, bud. If you win the giveaway, I'll find a way to contact you. So you might want to check the chat later. Come back after work and check the chat to see if you won. Let's see. Metal Gear. Enemies hit by a car have a 20% chance to be stunned. Awesome. That's nice. But that's only for the Evo. All right. Enemies walking through the fire left behind burning rubber have a 100% chance to be burned. Great. Ecto car size is increased. So that's an AoE increase. And this adds burning, but only on the Evo. And this adds a stun on the Evo. So this looks like a disruption weapon, kind of like in the same vein as Scrap Hammer. This actually looks like a really, really nice weapon. All right, let me give this a run in Dragon's Tower. Oh no! Next week, these guys are all going to be the featured heroes in Dragon's Tower, and I won't be able to use them. That's sad. All right, okay. I think this floor is going to be a doozy. Let's see how this goes. Woo! I'll go at 2%. Wow. All right. Egon is putting out some damage, guys. I did this earlier in the week with Arcane Mage and Knight. That's why you could see them dead. This is putting out a ton of damage. Like, even for this account. This is crazy. Holy crap. So earlier in the week, I was doing some testing in Dragon's Tower with Arcane Mage and Knight, and they, like, insta-died. And this is very much not insta-dying. Can I? Guys, never reshuffle. This is what happens when you reshuffle. Nothing good. But he just blew everything up. Wow. I'm telling you, even for this account, this is a ton of damage. Let's see if Area of Effect makes the car bigger. I don't think it does, right? No. Okay, so the one issue with... Oh, is it stuck up there? Oh, it stays in place? So see how the Ecto 1 is just staying in place up there? That's not great for Dragon's Tower. What do I need? Duration Tome? Oh my god, this is hurting me so much to do this reshuffle. Sweet. The fact that it's stuck in place is not great, because in Dragon's Tower you need to move around, and it's not moving. And you can see here it didn't get the Evo on its current cast, but it is getting it on the subsequent cast. So those circles are really, really important. That circle of damage is super important, because that'll keep AoE up outside of its on-screen time. Okay, so only the 5-star Forge will make it bigger. Regular Area of Effect Tome did not. Dude, Egon is putting out so much damage. Wow. This is nuts. I mean, I'll go grab another hero real quick to show you the difference. But like, if I grab something like, I don't know, even mediocre like Monk, it was not like this. Like, I don't know if you guys, the Kamikaze bugs aren't even making it. Whoa. Alright, crazy. The Ecto 1 is awesome, by the way. What a great little weapon. I think, honestly, Egon seems like he's going to be the star of this. I mean, if you have the resources to get him and level him up, very, very strong hero. Very cool. Just so you guys know, at the end of the stream, I will be giving away 2 Ghostbuster passes to anyone that left a comment. You'll get a chance to win. If you leave a comment, you'll get a chance to win a Ghostbuster pass at the end of the stream. 2 random viewers. Okay, so Burning Rubber didn't do a whole bunch of damage, but it looked cool. I'll tell you what, so Ectoplasm, dude, this was dealing damage. 545, 547, and 101. Wow. Holy moly. Now let's give, just as a point of reference, let's see. We'll see how this does. Right, you can see that little green thing? Right. That was one of his skills. And then these circle guys are the other ones. The problem with the way those things are circling, I guess the two problems, is that they're small. This AoE is small and they're circling very slowly. This is his ultimate, by the way, is that supercharged proton shooter. So it still only targets one horde, but it then starts shooting through them instead of just at them. He's annihilating that elite, by the way. Alright. I mean, he's doing just an absolute butt ton of single target damage. He's got like Death Ray, but on steroids. So he's definitely going to be, it'll be really interesting to see for some of the maxed accounts what his end of game boss brawl numbers end up being. Because this is like just pure single target, massive DPS. Although I think Egon was actually doing more, even to like the elites. Is he gonna be okay here? Yeah, he's alright here. Alright. Both of these heroes are doing way more damage than Knight and Arcane Mage, so keep that in mind. That's a good sign at least. And I don't know if he'll be able to stand still through this, but we'll give it a shot. Whee! Alright. He's taking more damage. I think it's because I'm not paying any attention and I'm getting hit by meteors, but it's fine. It's not the horde that are getting here. I will say, of the two, I find Egon more fun. Again, on like 10 minutes of testing here. Oops. I don't actually really care about that. So of like 10 minutes of testing, Egon looks like a little bit is more fun to play than Peter so far. All right, we want to give the Slimer pet passive a chance here. Let's see what that looks like. So if we go like pets, only do Slimer, and then let's do like that guy. The goal is really just to see what it looks like. So we're going to be looking for every 3 attacks from the pet. There should be some kind of like AoE slime ball that pops up. Let's see what that looks like. So slow this down. Now he's melee, but it's fine. I'm not seeing the slime. 1, 2, there it is. All right, you see it? There's the little. Oh, was that him? I think it was that little poison area below the pet. Or was it not? I'm not seeing this visually, so let me try something else here. And this is every 3 attacks from the active pet, it spews a slime glob that splashes around the target. The slime glob deals 200% passive damage and leaves behind a mini puddle for 4 seconds. Let's see if I can get a weaker hero in here. Let's see if I can see this thing. 1, 2, 3. I am not visually seeing the Slimer passive proc. I don't know if you guys are seeing it or not. You did see it? Okay, there it is. Right there. I'm standing on top of it now. Okay, there it is over here too. Okay, so it does work. Do they have to die? It should be every 3 attacks, right? They shouldn't have to die. There it is. Okay, you can see it. All right, cool. It looks like it's a medium-sized circle, much like Psych Owl's circle. So it's going to be a much stronger version of Psych Owl. Cycle Owl? But you can see it here. I'm kind of standing on it now. It's a green circle of slime that slows them and does damage. Oh, you can see it too. It's actually crystals. The Basilisk is shooting out a green slime, too. And it's separate from his base attack. Okay, so that's like a Cyclowl, but maybe a little stronger. I mean, I think that's one of the better passes in the game, based on the percentage and the slow. The fact that it only comes every 3rd attack means you want a faster attacking pet, though. Keep that in mind. Cool. Alrighty, so let me try and summarize real quick all my thoughts on this. Big thing with the Ghostbuster pass. So big thing in general with this event, if you keep one thing in mind, it's don't use your ectoplasm until the last day. Last event, they added a whole bunch of stuff during the 30, 40, 42-day period. You never know what they're going to add. Don't spend your ectoplasm until the last day. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is hopefully, so then rule number 2 is because it's time limited and the resources are limited during this time, you ideally only want to get one hero and then invest all of the resources into that hero or that weapon. So if you get really lucky and spin either Peter or the Ecto-1, you're going to want to put all your resources in getting them up to 3-star. For Peter, it would be a 2-star level with a 3-star forge. That would be like, I think, the ideal, most efficient spend. And then the Ecto-1, you want to get up to a 3-star forge for the global. And you want to try and do that during this event period. Egon was by far my favorite part of this event. I didn't hear the Ecto-1 sound, but Egon was awesome. So getting Egon for the fun hero to play, but make sure to get that relatively early on, at least before you clear out all 15 of these passes so that you can make sure that you get the hero shards. I don't know if you'll get them before getting the pass. And getting these extra hero shards is really important so that you can use Ectoplasm on getting his forge up. That's why getting those hero shards is important. So keep that in mind for the pass. Let's see, free-to-play heroes. The big value here, if you don't unfortunately get a hero, it's just going to be a lot of hero orbs, keys, and skill books. I think those are the best things to buy. The pet traps, if you just want to play Russian roulette with pets, or that's the wrong one. Just gamble with pets. Slimer looks like he's going to be not the best damaging pet, but a very, very good passive. So a very, very good passive pet in Slimer. Anything else to learn? The campaign itself, the most fun. Anything else to learn? The campaign itself, the most fun part of the campaign are the boss fights. So at least that was from the last event, and the boss fights can actually be pretty hard in hard mode. So I'll probably have a video on those. But other than that, yeah. So let's see. I can't really win anything here. Make sure to do all your quests. Again, you have all 43 days, 42 remaining days to complete them. And the purchases, the free web store purchase each week counts as a purchase in the shop. Read Hax's guide in Discord if you need a pointer. That's excellently written. Has all of my same advice on it. I think that's about it. It looks like Peter is going to be the stronger single target damage. Egon is the better AoE damage. Egon is my more fun recommendation. We got anything else? Let's see. Anything I missed in the comments here that people want me to try and talk about? I do say we. Yeah, I'm sorry about the quality of the stream, guys. Both on the video issues and on the sound issues. But my setup on this vacation isn't exactly ideal for this. So I will try and put together an edited version for this week. Thank you to all the executive producers. The executive producers for this are Cake Invictus, Riverwind, TheWuba, Krabs, Charlos, Lady Ikaika, Paradox, Arc, TallaNasty, Cemar, Bunni, and Sumamormy, and Clinton. Thank you all for your support. Really appreciate it. I have to do the giveaway now. So let me get the chat history here. So Xana, this was my God account. So Lena gave me access to an account with everything that has everything and everything all leveled up to like the nth degree. It's crazy. And so that's where I was getting Peter and Egon from. Let me get all the usernames out of chat here real quick. She's done new. Bear with me here as I sort these guys. Equal range. All right, sort by the right thing this time. And then let me show this. All right, where am I? I'm over. See that? All right, so it looks like Jason and James. I'm sorry. Those are the two winners this time. So that is Jason, the executive producer, and Paradox, the executive producer. So thank you guys for your general support. Congratulations on winning here. I will get in touch with you guys. I actually know both of you, so I can figure out how to get your web IDs separately, so you don't have to paste them here. But you. What was that? Can you guys hear me now? Am I unfrozen? Did I freeze? It's always fun right at the end. So James. So Jason and Paradox won. Can you? Did you guys see it or no? I always have excellent timing on this stuff. It's always like the very beginning and the very end, and just all the bugs happen. Let me grab the. All right, guys, signing off. Appreciate it.